Good morning, Turfs Up Radio. Wayne Voles, Profits Unlimited, coming to you live from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes, indeedy.
Oh, my goodness. We got a great day underway. We got a great show planned for you guys. No rain in our particular circumference surrounding our radius of our business here. Maybe that's how I'm going to explain it. Looks like it's been a little more north and east of us today. Lordy, nice to get off to a dry start this morning. We are well underway. Appreciate you guys tuning in with us this morning. Appreciate all the sharing you guys are doing with Turfs Up. We can tell by our listenership, so we certainly do appreciate that. If you're not sharing, I'd appreciate if you'd hit the share button, man, out there on your socials and whatnot, and let people know about Turfs Up Radio. We got a great thing going. It's great because you're involved with us, and let's get more people involved, and we can help elevate and educate the industry one at a time. And yes, indeedy. Good afternoon, Stephen. Stephen's with us. Yeah, he said he's going to be with us for a little bit. Our buddy with Sigma Organics, appreciate that. And I want to give him a big shout out too. Got it on my sheet just so I didn't know he was going to be listening today, Stephen. But it's all about relationships, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. But Stephen certainly is a great guy to work with. Sigma Organics is great to work with. He represents them very well and appreciates everything that he does with us, for us, and helping our company be successful, quite honestly. So, and relationships are important, and that's something that we'll touch on a little bit today. So glad you got a chance to listen in for a little bit, Stephen, with us. As always, we appreciate you and everybody else that tunes in and listening to us. But hopefully you guys are off to a good day today, doing a little mowing or spraying or lighting or whatever it is that you're into. We're into a little bit of all of it today. Got a couple spray techs out going, got some landscape crews going. We got a bunch of mowing going. So, yeah, it's a great day. Great day to be alive. Great day to be here on Turfs Up Radio, and a great day to be a lawn and landscape business owner. So I'm not sure if our buddy Matt's going to hop on with us today or not. Reached out to him and haven't heard back from him. So they may be into some severe weather modes. So we'll see if Matt has a chance to hop on with us. If not today, possibly Friday, he'll hop on here. So I try to be really lenient with, when I say lenient, that's not the right word. It's like I'm in charge of them. I'm not. They're really lenient with us, quite honestly. Turfs Up, hopping on the way they do for us, helping us out. So, good morning, Ben Briscoe. Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's been a while for you hopping on. Good day. Speaking of Ben Briscoe, missed an opportunity to see my buddy Sunday. Man, I am home Sunday afternoon. I'm 51 weeks a year, man. And, Ben happened to catch me on the one, literally, and that's probably pretty daggone close as to what the real number is. And I missed my buddy this past weekend, so looking forward to seeing my buddy Ben at some point in the near future. Lake season's on hold right now, but flooding's still crazy down there. So I don't know. We're still in mourning, me and all my lake buddies. We're still walking around with our black veils on, trying to figure out what in the world's going on. So I don't know. Mother Nature's in control of that too. Not only is she running the landscaping and lawn service bus, she's running the lake bus as well. Mother Nature's just in control. That's all it amounts to. So, yeah, Benno, appreciate you listening. Nice to have you back on with us again. Craig, glad you're listening down there, buddy. It's always nice to have our friends over on the East Coast. And Corey, yes, indeedy. So, yeah, we got a good crowd going today. Got a good crowd going today with us so far, and I think we're going to have some good interaction on what we're going to talk about today. Got some good topics going. Curious to know what it's like in your all's area. You guys been able to get out and rocking around today or this week? Just curious. I know it's been sporadic. Yesterday we had a heck of a storm roll through here about 1:30 or so. That is Eastern Standard Time. But it rained really, really crazy hard from like our shop east, and the airport I think recorded like 700ths of an inch. So depending on where you were at, it's almost like summer thunderstorms, but it's not summer yet. Is the reality of it, which is I don't know, I don't know. So, anyways, looks like Aaron Walls is out at it. And speaking of Aaron Walls, great show today. Great show today. They're out firing it up and making a little money today. So send us a picture of, yep, got a yard done, getting it blown off. So there you go. Get them done one at a time. Get them done one at a time. That's all we can ask about. Corey said they had 2 inches of rain yesterday. Yay. But we might as well act like we like it, right? They're actually talking about maybe some flash flooding in our area. That's why I was looking forward to Matt if he can hop on with us today. But if not, we'll ask him Friday. Talking about potentially some flash flooding, um, Friday afternoon, late in the evening. So we'll see how that goes. And again, all we can do is work in it. So John said they got about 3 inches in the last 3 days. Said he had to get his rubbers on this morning to go mow. And heck yeah, we used to joke about it and say snorkels and flippers. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it seems like it's been a whole lot of that this year, for real, for a whole lot of us. And currently, it doesn't look like it's slowing down too much. That's the bad thing about it. But I mean, rain and tornadoes, and I mean, it's just been a whole lot of weird weather. We actually had an earthquake here in Kentucky. I don't know. I think it was Sunday. Katie, you remember what day it was? Sunday or Monday or I don't know, but it was like southeast of Lexington, Kentucky. I know that doesn't mean anything to a lot of you guys, but it's probably 90 to 100 miles southeast of where we're located. Uh, we didn't feel it, but they said it recorded like an 8 or something on the Richter scale. So that was crazy. What'd you do, Daniel? Daniel said he did fall out of bed literally Sunday night. So maybe that's what it was. But I mean, we just had some really, really weird weather, but and it's going to continue. It sounds like for a bit. So I don't know. We just keep our fingers crossed. You keep your fingers crossed, and at the end of the day, hey, we're going to get through it. It's just going to take us a minute. So thank you guys for all the text. Holy shnikes, yes indeedy. Craig said they felt the earthquake. See, Knoxville had theirs on Saturday. He was saying, and then ours was, I guess, Sunday morning or overnight, whatever it was. But it followed the Knoxville one because they had talked about that. But he said they felt the earthquake from Knoxville and Charlotte. So pretty crazy, pretty crazy. Speaking of earthquake, and not to get off on this tangent too long, but I just feel like this ought to be a PSA coming to everybody, man. For you guys that are homeowners, make sure that your homeowners has earthquake insurance on it because it is not part of your normal insurance normally. So you might want to check into that. I know what chances are slim and that whole deal for a lot of us in different parts of the country, but my sister helped me with that many, many years ago. That a lot of people do not have earthquake insurance in our part of the country, and I mean we're right on a fault line. What do they call those fault lines or fault lines or whatever the hell they are, and just something to consider. So that's my public service announcement for the day to try to help you guys. That is my truth bomb for today. I mean, we'll call it our Wisdom Wednesday info. So, but anyways,
I think I have that,
do you?
but if not, hopefully I'll just have the home will just fall in on me.
Well, don't worry about it. I mean, FEMA come through and probably help regardless, but just something to think about. But yeah, check it out. And it is a lot different coverage, but it is an add on coverage. I do know that. So, um, Seth said it's a good morning to have a good day. Absolutely. Good day to have a good day. So, that is all personal preference. Good job. Seth, that's some really good knowledge right there, buddy. So, Mike's got a good point here with all the weather we've had all year. He said it's going to be really strange when we get 5 days in a row that we can work, in decent weather.
Yeah.
So that is true. But like he said, they've worked through the rain, but the efficiency factor, ooh, look at him throwing them words in. The
Yes.
efficiency. Yeah, that's what we talk about in the profit circle and profits unlimited. But that's right. The efficiency, can be bad. Is bad. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's slower production, whether it's raining and or it's just wet, trying to get the job done the right way for your client. So, and then just think it'll dry up a little bit and then say, do you think it needs to be mowed today? You know, can you skip me? Well, it's another discussion for another show or later on in this show. Got some other things we want to talk about. But Stephen, if you're still listening or not listening with Sigma Organics, I want to reach out and tell you thanks. He came by yesterday and was helping us get some things squared away here. And he said, hey, give me a few little bit of time, a few hours to work on this, and we'll get it squared away and see where we're at. And everything got taken care of. And that's what it's all about, realistically, Daniel. Is just good relationships with people.
Hmm.
And whether it's your equipment dealer, whether it's suppliers, vendors, competitors, I mean, fill in the blank. It's all the above, is what it is. But just having a good relationship, not always or necessarily needs to be the person with the cheapest equipment or the cheapest supplies or the cheapest mulch.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be the person with the best relationship.
Right. I mean,
I
that's what
mean
it
that's
comes down
just
to. You can get mulch from anybody, you can get product from anybody, but what you really want when you're working with a person is someone to help you when you need help.
that's right. That man, that's awesome. When you need help,
Yeah.
that's it. Now Chuck in a truck riding around with a duck, that doesn't mean much. But when you've got a legitimate business going and you're trying to run your business like a business, whether you're a solo operator or multi-crew company, that doesn't matter. It depends on how you want to lay your business out. But yeah, Mike, that's funny, but it's true too. Mike said it's crazy to be driving down the street and still seeing irrigation systems running.
Hmm.
You know, and again, that's where they set them and forget them, and don't have the technology on them to not run them when there's ample soil moisture. That's another discussion for another day. Maybe we get a irrigation guy here on our show. That'd be a good thing to talk a little bit about,
Yeah.
to say the least. But again, I just wanted to give Stephen a big shout out and um, let you guys know that what we were into, and glad to have a dry day so far anyway here. I think we're supposed to be safe pretty much most of the day from what Bam was saying where we're at. And like I said, just a little north and east of us, some showers, but we'll see. We'll see how that all plays out. But I wanted to share something with you guys. I put it on my social media, announcing my show today. Just the crazy fees and expenses that we all run into in our businesses. But this has got to be one of the dumbest ones ever. And it's been going on for a while here in Louisville, Kentucky. But and the only reason it made me think about it to talk about it today was that we got our invoice for it yesterday. But they charge us, not just us, but anybody that has a commercial vehicle. Now, there are some exemptions, probably the city trucks. But $22.50 per vehicle to get a sticker that we have to display on our window to use the city streets.
Hmm.
I really thought that when you paid your licensing fee to the state, your property taxes to the state distributed money to each local, place, Louisville, Lexington, Owensboro, wherever the heck you're at, Hallsville, wherever. I'm just curious, do any of you all have anything like that
You know what would be awesome
in
is
your all's areas?
if they could track the road quality from starting this program to 10 years later, whatever. Does it actually get better? Or does it at least not get worse? I mean, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Like if everyone's paying $22 a vehicle, that money should be put into a fund that then goes back into fixing the roads because of the more vehicles from businesses that may be on the roads.
Yeah. And like I said, it's strictly a commercial thing
Yeah.
that's,
It's yeah, not for everyone.
not for everybody. But I mean, I just think that's one of the just little things like that just bother me. I don't know why. It's like
Well,
fuel surcharges,
it bothers
for
me, but it would
delivery.
bother me even more. And because of the way that things go with government, that it's not going to get better, even though they're collecting this money.
Yeah. I don't know. But that was my pet peeve of the day today is the $22.50. Now we do have one truck that qualifies for 15, you know. I think, yeah, we had one that was, and it's based on just so you guys know that are listening to us, it's based on the tag weight, is what it is. So it's not like it's a big fee, but is it one of those things that they say, well, people will pay it because it's easier to pay it than it is argue about it over, you know,
You
whatever
could
number of
say
trucks
that.
you have times
You could
20
also
bucks?
say, the other side of that is somebody's not going to pay it because if they get caught, they'll just pay it. And there's
Yeah.
probably not going to be a penalty on it.
Oh,
Whereas
there'll be a penalty on it.
you think,
Absolutely. Everything, because it's billed through what's called the Louisville Metro Revenue Commission.
mm,
Now, what's that tell you? The Louisville Metro Revenue Commission, and they're probably if they by chance get a hold of this broadcast, they're probably
thing
going
is,
to
even
come
if the
with a
penalty, I
microscope.
don't know what the penalty
But
would be.
normally they double you up pretty quick.
So it's probably worth for a lot of guys in their head thinking, well, I could maybe get away with not doing this for 5 years, and then 1 year I'll get doubled up, but I still have 3 years free.
Yeah, no,
So
that's the way. Because honest to God, we've never. Well, I shouldn't say never. We normally don't put them on our trucks,
but you paid for them.
but we paid for
You
them.
have the
You know,
documentation that you paid for
Yeah,
them.
and we got them. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, I just threw last year's stickers away just a
Good.
week or two ago. Because I
Yeah.
knew the new ones would be coming. So
It'd be cool if they almost had like something to where your license plate sticker, whatever that thing's called,
yeah,
registration sticker, had like a tiny little code on it to where you wouldn't have to put a sticker on your truck. You could just, whoever pulled you over could scan it and say,
just know
which I guess
that's a
they
really
do when
good
they pull,
idea.
maybe they could do it when they pull up your license plate number.
But then the state would have to give the city the money for Jefferson County. I'd be curious to know if like Fayette County, which is Lexington, you know that. But for our listeners, I just wonder maybe if like a Fayette County or Owensboro does it. Some of the larger cities do it, and then all the uh, smaller ones
I just,
escape, like Hallsville
I
and
can't imagine why though.
everybody
I
else,
don't really see like a
Elizabethtown,
benefit or a reason for that. I don't know why. Because
or
I
is
mean,
it?
like you said, it's only a $22 thing or a $15 thing or whatever, depending on the size, like you said. But it seems like it'd be easy enough just to collect it from anybody and everybody.
This is a good point. It says a lot of times the problem is that the money that's set aside for such improvements is robbed to help pay for something else.
Yeah, like your freaking
Social Security.
teacher, or not teacher, but your head whatever that's called, head elf of JCPS 10% raise every year.
Yeah, the superintendent.
Yeah.
The yeah, Marty Polio. He's moving on.
Yeah.
He's he's going over to one of the southeast or one of the colleges as their president.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
Remember
mean,
when he fired us? But
yeah.
we used to take care of the superintendent's property here in Louisville, and he fired us because somebody had signed me and Kyle up, and because I swear we really didn't sign up for it, because they had a referendum on a ballot of do you support what was it, Katie? Do you remember increased salaries for teachers? I think, or raising the property tax some percentage. And I didn't sign up yes or no either way, but somehow mine and Kyle's name got on it. And he called us and said, I just can't work with y'all any longer. You know?
What's shocking is that Pete they have record of who is signing that.
Yeah.
That accessible.
Well, like I told him, I told him when he canceled, I said, Marty, Polio's his name, Marty Polio, or Mr. Polio. The reality of it is my daughter is a teacher in your system. Why would I even be against something like that? I mean, something that's going to make the school system better,
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. It didn't work. I wasn't saving it. He just eddied on, and got somebody else to cut his grass. So there you go. It's little things like that, man, that are just crazy. But I don't know. How do we get on that sidetrack? Oh, taxes.
Yeah, Texas. Where the tax money's actually going.
Yeah, where it goes.
Was that Mike who brought that up?
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Mike said Bowling Green does not, and they're bigger than Owensboro. So there you go. So it might be like I said, it's billed through Louisville Metro Revenue Commission. I
don't understand why they would do that.
So I don't know, but it's crazy. It's crazy.
To me, that's a sign that the money is not being distributed where it should be, right? Because, like, in theory, Louisville has X number of businesses with X number of trucks that are taking X percentage of toll on the road every year. And so the $22 should fix the damage in Louisville, right?
Yeah.
So that means that somebody is suffering. Either the roads in small town Kentucky are suffering because they're not making the money up from their businesses, or ours are suffering because we're either getting none or split with other people.
Maybe.
Other communities.
Maybe.
So like no one is really winning in the situation.
Certainly not the business owners, right?
I mean, in theory, they should be winning, right? Because, like, okay, you pay a little bit, you have less flat tires, you have less road inefficiencies, and less problems with stuff bouncing out of your, whatever around in your truck because there's less potholes. I mean, in theory, the something getting better helps everyone.
Right.
The way that they're probably doing it is not helping anyone.
Correct. The way they're going about it. Yeah. Here's one from Stephen. He says, have you heard about the synthetic fields they want to put around the county? The cost is astronomical. And actually, Manual Stadium, like replacing the grass fields with synthetic
football
fields and soccer fields. And,
it's funny because I used to be in an internship with this guy who played football at Mail, and he said they'd wanted a synthetic field forever, but they couldn't do it even though they could afford it, because if they got one, everybody
had to get one.
Yeah.
Well, evidently now that's what Steven's talking about. I think they're all going to get it.
Or at least have the option.
Or have the option, because Manual just redid, which is a public school, as you know. I'm just for our listeners' sake, though. They just redid their field. It was 101 years old, their stadium.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. That is pretty cool, isn't
it? It's like the what's the one at the Chicago?
Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
The baseball field. Yeah. So, yeah, but anyway, a lot of times there is misappropriation on those funds. But anyways, I thought it'd just be something to talk a little bit about. I appreciate y'all getting engaged in that with us for a minute. I'm curious to know how new business is going for everybody. Is your new business up? We talked about the phone ringing a little bit or not ringing, but regardless, how's new business? We've been fortunate from that standpoint, putting on, some new work. Um, Phone calls not as good as it could be, but coming in. But we did have a very good phone call this morning from one of our new mowing customers that we put on. Got them serviced today, this morning, and they called in and said, "Hey, we just want to let you know that your crew did a beautiful job." That's
Nice.
always nice. It sure beats the heck out of, "Hey, I want to call, man. Your crew did a shitty job.
Yeah.
Did a bad job. That didn't trim, didn't blow. You know." But yeah, so we'll certainly pass that along to that crew. It's always fun to give them good news like that,
Yeah.
because you got to give them the other stuff, and it's nice to give them some good stuff every once in a
Yeah.
while.
I don't know the
So
age group of these individuals, but maybe a good time to send over a Google review link.
yeah, actually, it's a little bit of an older fella.
Yeah, so maybe
Yeah.
not in his age
So
range.
but he might. Katie was going to send it to him and ask him. Actually, and I'll ask him actually, because when they called in, they said, that hey, everything was great, and they wanted to get an estimate on some more work. So I'm going to see him after my show today. Got an appointment with him at 11:30. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. There we go. The mow leads to something else.
Yeah,
That's the only reason we take that residential mowing.
that kind of bleeds into a comment that we had on our video we released yesterday about, you know, the gosh, I can't even remember which video it was now. It's taking your side hustle on business to a full time. But somebody commented, it's mowing isn't the most profitable, but it does lead to other things, and that's why we keep it around.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's kind
just
of
it.
in the video. We didn't say, just as a precursor, we didn't say quit mowing or stop mowing. More along the lines of diversification.
Yeah, that's right. And use that as the platform to get the other work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what is really important. So, one thing, talking about good things happening and whatnot, I saw something on social media, and I want to get all y'all's ideas on this because we got a lot of guys texting this morning and listening. What's your all's opinion on mowing with your shirt off? What's your all's opinion on mowing with your shirt off?
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, a guy had posted this in one of the smaller groups, the solo operator group, it's called, and he says, I'm new, and it's starting to heat up. How many of you guys mow without a shirt on? So think
I
about that.
think the easy comment back to that is, well, yes, it's hot outside, but there are better ways to stay cool than taking your shirt off, for one.
Yeah,
But also, how many lawyers do you see going to court with their shirt off
yeah,
or their pants unbuttoned because they just ate lunch? Or, like at some point, safety is obviously key and you don't want to overheat. But A, there's, like I said, better ways to stay cool. And B, it's your profession. Like you need to be professional.
right. And I will say this, Daniel, that it did make me feel good to see a lot of the comments, coming in were no, we don't do it.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, and I mean, some guys were justifying doing it, you know, but
And I think not that I really don't think there's ever a good reason to do it. But let's say you're
right,
mowing in the middle of nowhere, not at a, it's the house is 3 acres away and it's a 10-acre property. Not that it's still, I don't think, a good thing to do, but it's different than if you were doing it in a neighborhood, right? Like
right,
there's a difference in those two situations. And I could see where someone could justify no one's around, no one can see me, blah, blah, blah.
right. There's we got quite a bit of input on this, and it really good input. Let's see. We'll start. Let's see. Let's see, Seth. I'll get to yours in just a second. Seth was talking about something other than the shirts. Uh, Corey, he Depends on the depth of the personal taco meat. I I don't think size has got anything to do with it personally, Corey. I know you don't either, but that is a pretty funny comment, you know. But
Unless it's your niche,
hey,
shirtless mowing, I mean, if
hey,
you want to get ripped and jacked and let all the, housewives look out the window as you mow, then and have an upcharge
there
for it.
there actually is a business was out there called Bikini Cut,
Yeah.
where he had women working in bikinis push mowing.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
I'm
know if it's
sure there's a
still,
market for men doing the same thing.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, oh my God, John just sent us a thing. This is if I wish y'all could see this. For you guys watching it on YouTube later, you can. He sent us that. That's hilarious. Tabitha sent me that yesterday. It's a picture of a big guy with some taco meat depth, I guess, and it says mowing grass and showing as,
Oh my
and
God.
it says big yards $30, small yards $15, and the funny thing says just to stare $10.
God.
Oh my God, that's hilarious, John. Oh, I did share it on our YouTube thing though. Ben Briscoe says absolutely not. No, no, no. That's been our that's been our culture here forever.
Aaron
You
Walls said
you know.
about the shirt off thing. At home or at the soccer mom's house, who's at home all day with fresh cup of lemonade.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
We'll ask him if Ashley knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. Does Ashley know that that's the policy? Oh my God! But I'm really happy to see that most of you guys are on the same page length of. Let's see, no shirt mowing for me, and much grass in my. Oh my God! Let's see, but yeah, I think it's something that it does go back to professionalism.
Yeah.
Pride and professionalism. Is it hot? Yes. To Daniel's point, there's things you can do. You can do something other than just a regular cotton shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, we wear these, what do they call them, wicking,
Yeah. Some sort of
some type of weather or water
it's like a
wicking,
dry fit.
like a dry fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. A dry fit shirt, to try to help our guys stay cooler. But now you say, well, I keep my shirt on, but how many times don't you see guys rip the sleeves off or cut slits up the side? That's just as bad.
Well, maybe not just as bad.
It's almost as
It's
bad.
probably one level below.
It's one level below bad as it can get, or above, however you want to look at it. But still, point is, keep your shirt on.
Keep your uniform intact.
Keep your uniform intact. We actually got something in our policy and procedures manual to that. That no deviation or alteration to your uniform.
Yeah. Well, and like you're getting into this industry, right? Like it's by choice. There's a million other things you can do to work inside. If you're that conscious or that, affected by the heat, you don't have to work outside.
And I do think a lot of it goes to the guy that's doing it as a side hustle is more apt to do it
Probably
than people that are doing it professionally.
Yeah.
I mean that's it. But what do the consumers remember? The side hustle guy.
They remember the crazy things. Yeah.
You don't remember the good things that are going on. You remember, well, yeah, that guy that used to mow our yard, didn't wear a shirt, or pants were half ripped off or unbuttoned, and that whole scenario. So, but Mike said his wife calls it eye candy lawn care. When he mowed without a shirt.
Nice.
Nicely done. Oh Lord, he said he was in better shape then. But again, regardless, I think we got to look at it from a professional standpoint and give yourself credit for being a professional service, and because then Corey said, I just tell my guys no, and just so y'all do know, skin cancer is real.
True. Yeah. If you're working outside all day without a shirt on, I mean,
you
that's
know,
not going to feel good at the end of the day.
but also not covered under work comp. Yeah. So, yeah, let's see. Yeah. Ben said he knew guys that would used to keep a clean shirt for a change midday. I used to do that when I was out every day.
Yeah.
I'd have another shirt that I'd
What
put on
about
at
if you
lunch.
had like a dark color shirt, like a green or whatever? You have and you have like a water bucket. You know, you take your shirt off somewhere secure, you know, not maybe in the middle of the yard or anything. Dip it in the bucket, squeeze it out, wring it out, and put it back on.
Yeah. I've done that before. I've done that. Yep. And take it, or you sit there and you guys know what I'm going to say with the blower, but
Yeah.
lift your shirt open and blow your shirt underneath, and all the sweat blows out, but it feels really, really good. It's a good wind chill factor for
Yeah.
just a brief period of time. But anyways, yeah, I did want to get y'all's feeling on it because sooner or later it's going to stop raining and it's going to get hot. Actually, we're going to 90 Friday here.
Wow. That's
You know,
crazy.
yeah,
That's early.
we're going to 90 Friday here, and that's why they're saying we might have some severe weather late. But you know, it does lack professionalism any way you want to slice it. Um, and don't justify it for yourself or anybody else that it's okay to do it because it's not. To your point, you don't see attorneys doing it, but even let's bring it down even further. You know, like when I talk about this exact topic in a seminar, you know, I'll say, how many times do you walk into your equipment dealer
Yeah.
and the guy at the parts counter doesn't have a shirt on, or the guy in the
Yeah.
service bay doesn't have a shirt on?
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not trying to minimize what they're doing. I'm just saying
Same general industry though.
it's the same industry, but they see the importance of the professionalism in doing it. You know, you know. Seth says, you know, it's got to be situational awareness. You know, they're out more of a rural area, so you know, I don't know, maybe, you know, but he said he does wear a cutoff. Uh, so,
And there's a difference between a cutoff shirt that's supposed to be a cutoff too,
but
right? Than having a shirt that's all cut up.
yeah, because actually at one time, even here at WLS, we bought shirts for our guys that had a a slit in the side,
I
about a
think I
third of the
remember
way
that.
down the side, you know, for them.
Yeah, that's been a while.
Yeah, that's been a lot of years, but we did that at one point and just said, no, the heck with it, man. Let's just wear a shirt, you know. So I don't know. I wanted to get y'all's opinion on that. So I want to talk a little bit about, and you may know as soon as I start this, you'll know what I'm going to bring up. But the weird thing the lady asked Kyle about last week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious to know how you guys handle this. And do you put anything in your proposals to your customers for those of you guys that do landscaping? Okay. Um, and it comes up occasionally, but not a lot. I can say I've only had customers ask it a handful of times, you know, in my experience, and maybe you've had it happen a lot. Maybe you address it already, you know, within your business and with your proposals. But Kyle had, was talking to a lady and submitted a proposal to put some plants around a deck in a yard area to kind of create a little separation and barrier between her and you know her neighbors. She liked the neighbors, but they built a house really close to her in a really nice neighborhood, and they both sat on their decks quite a bit, evidently. And
Mm-hmm.
she said, "I just want to feel more comfortable sitting on my deck."
Yeah, I completely understand that.
You know, so yeah, Daniel's in a very similar situation with his home, but so when she got her proposal, she called Kyle and said, you know, I've got a 2-year old and I looked these plants up, and these plants can be toxic for humans and pets.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle tried to explain to her that, yes, they are potentially, but so are most or a lot of other plants.
Right.
And I'm just curious, you guys that do landscaping, and be honest. Don't lie. Be honest. Do you have anything going out with your proposals that tell your customers that the ingestion of a certain volume of this particular plant that we've suggested for your yard, your landscape? I know we're not supposed to call them yards, but I did just now because it just came out and it's easy. But do you qualify the plants that you're putting in as potentially toxic to pets or humans? Would you want that notification, Daniel? I mean, so many are.
I
I mean,
wouldn't.
boxwoods, hydrangeas, azaleas, shiplarals. I mean, there's a ton of things. The list goes on and on and on.
I really wouldn't, as a consumer, wouldn't care.
Who's eating plants? I mean,
That's my thing. Like, these things aren't at the grocery store. Why would you assume that we can eat them anyway? Like, it's weird to me that people just assume you can eat any plants, or could, like, healthily eat any plants. Like, why would you assume that? You don't just go eat tree bark.
Yeah, I mean, I got an idea. Why don't you teach your kid not to eat plants like that? I mean,
Yeah,
don't go out in
or
the yard and start eating stuff.
this specific kid, I think, was like 2 years old,
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
So I could see where they may put certain things in their mouth, but I've never heard of a kid, even at that age, like, going and eating a plant.
Hell, they don't eat broccoli.
True.
You know.
And also, why, like, if the kid's that young, they probably shouldn't be out by themselves in the yard, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
No, that's right. I mean,
most times, I
we
mean,
never put a 2-year-old when y'all were
yeah,
two out by
by
yourself. I mean,
themselves. I mean, I don't know. It's just a weird. I could see if you were
but I'm
a new
curious.
pet owner and you hadn't ever been around a lot of cats or dogs or whatever, and you didn't know, oh, is my dog gonna just try to eat this plant? I mean, I've never been around a dog that eats plants. I know, like, Beckett will pick up sticks and stuff.
Right.
I don't know how much she eats plants just for fun
I
because
mean,
they taste good or whatever. But
Lacey would eat a rabbit. I remember one day
yeah,
she came in where she found a rabbit, caught
yeah,
a rabbit, found a rabbit, whatever happened. But I mean,
yeah, but not so much the
not so
plants.
much the plants. I'm curious, what do you guys do? I know a lot of you guys do landscaping. Seth, you said that's probably predominantly what you do is landscaping.
And
And
does that even go into
Greg, Corey, all you guys out there listening, John, I mean,
what about mulch, right? Like, you have
yeah,
to give a legal, whatever it's called, disclaimer about mulch. You're not supposed to eat this mulch or rock or like, to my point, when does it stop? At what? Because to us right now it seems obvious, but to that other person it doesn't seem obvious that people shouldn't eat plants per se.
yeah.
So maybe to someone else it's not obvious that you shouldn't eat mulch, or you
Let's
shouldn't
see.
lick your grass after you get a treatment done, or
Right. I mean that's why you leave a sheet says stay off
yeah,
until dry. But I mean, what about granular products? I mean, we're not getting into that side of it. Let's keep it on plants right now.
right. But it's the same
But it's the
thing.
same thing,
It's
you
just,
know.
do you have to tell your consumer not to eat everything that you're putting? It's not Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Like, everything's not made out of chocolate.
Corey, I can't read what he sent,
Oh
but
God.
he basically said you can't buy that type of insurance. You know. uh, oh my God. Yeah, yeah, you're right. That's right, Corey. Can't I know? And I made the mistake of saying that the other day. Let's see. Uh, Aaron said, "Well, we had 7 kids running around the yard. We ate all kinds of plants. My mom showed us a few that we could, and we took it upon ourselves to try the rest."
My God. I
And that's
mean,
probably true.
I guess some people try them out.
I mean, forsythia bushes. I remember
Eat the honeysuckle.
the honey. That's what it. Yeah, not yeah. That's what I was saying. Honeysuckles, not forsythia bushes. Yeah, honeysuckles. I mean, I get it. Um, John says, sounds like she should concentrate on being a parent and watch her kids. I mean, that was our first thought too.
It's good that she's doing her research, I guess, right? Like, learning more is never a bad thing. But I don't think,
But do any of you all put anything in your proposal about the plants?
yeah, that's
That's why we're talking about it. I'm just curious. We do not.
It'd be interesting to get like a legal
Yeah, I mean, we're just waiting on Ed's opinion, you know.
legal,
But
advice and just see what they say. Because you could probably make the argument that you need it on any and everything, right? Like if you're
yeah,
putting, I don't know another example really. I don't know, but
John says no. They don't. They don't. Do not. He's the only one that's responded with it. We don't. Never have.
yeah,
I'm not saying we never will. I mean, if we need to do it to cover ourselves as a disclaimer,
yeah.
you
I
know,
guess the question becomes at what point, even past plants and material, do you have to cover yourself from a legal
yeah,
like does there really have to be something in the contract that says don't come out dressed in green and lay down in the grass so we don't mow over you on accident, like when does it
where does
actually
it stop?
legally
Well, I mean, you look at all the warning stickers when you
yeah,
buy something, and it's
yeah,
all because somebody got, McDonald's coffee now, for Christ's sake,
yeah,
caution hot.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I bought coffee, but somebody got rich because they didn't know it was hot, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know. He said, Seth says he does not, but it might be something to discuss in person.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I'm really excited to hear from our attorney that we work with to see his opinion on it. You know, but because he does always say, uh, ask your questions before the race, not after it started. You know, or not after it's over. But how many times, Kyle, would you say you've had anybody even ask that? Limited about toxicity of plants. I was going to say I haven't had it much. Oh, and that's a true point there too. John said he has more customers that ask about pets than kids.
Yeah.
You know, so but
I mean, I would assume any like and this isn't true probably, but I would assume if you or a pet ate enough of any plant, it's going to have detrimental effects on you, right?
yeah,
Like even if it's not necessarily toxic, but if you ate a lot of, let's just say, and I don't know if these are or not, pine needles, and they weren't necessarily toxic, but I guarantee if you ate a gallon of them, you're probably going to have health
might
effects.
be something wrong. Yeah, yeah. Now we're getting some not texts from guys, saying no, they've never done it. But now Mike says I've never had that come up, but it's something to think about. And it is. I mean, it's where does the legal liability
You just
start,
hope,
stop, or, you know,
and this is where lawyers do come into play, but you just hope a judge, if this ever got that far, would be level headed enough to not go down that rabbit hole of,
yeah.
he would throw it out. Okay, we're not doing a case on if you ate too many whatevers.
But I could see if I place myself as an attorney right now, I could definitely come up with a good argument of saying, Daniel, you're the landscaper. Why did you not think it was important to tell Miss Smith that the plants you were putting in her yard were going to be toxic to her kids and pets if they ate them? Well, because we've never done it. Well,
I think that's where you have to also
never
have
done it's
legal
never a good
representation.
answer for a good attorney.
Yeah,
So I don't know, and I hope we're not opening up a box of worms for any of you
for
guys,
the whole industry.
for the whole industry. But it's no different than the box of worms that the guys at the Department of Agriculture asked me not to open up in a meeting one time about applications of ice melter material. Why we don't have to post those, but we put the same product on a yard and we got to post it. And they're like, just don't even bring it up. I don't know. So that's our food for thought for today. No, God, no pun intended. Well, actually, it was good though, wasn't it?
Yeah, not intended for.
Not intended to be funny, but kind of all right. But I don't know. I would really hope to think, I've had my house painted. They didn't tell me not to eat the paint,
Yeah.
and
Maybe a simple thing, and you don't have to be super specific, but on your proposal or contract or whatever it would need to be on, no landscape plants or material intended for human or animal consumption.
yeah, that might be a simple way of doing it. Yeah. That might be a really simple way of doing that. So, no, we'll think about that.
Then somebody's going to read it in your thing and be like, why would they think I would eat this?
Yeah. Right. Then they're going to wonder, like, what kind of contractor did I
Yeah,
hire?
right.
Oh, Mike says his is going to say, not for consumption or bad things will happen. That's funny. But, anyways, hey, I do appreciate all your all's input on that. But Corey said just something simple like, unless stipulated, all plants are not edible.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that little, and that was Kyle's point the other day. He said we're installing landscape gardens, not consumable gardens.
Yeah. It's not a vegetable patch
It's
or a
not a
fruit or
vegetable patch
whatever.
or things like that. But I don't know. I just thought it was something to bring up for sure. So, not to get the pot stirred too fast or too hard, but just hey, that's what we're here for, is to help elevate and educate the industry, and you never know. You never know. Things bad happen. Dot dot dot. He said that's from the HO story from David. You know, that's true. Dave, things happen. The reality of it is things do happen. So, hey, I appreciate y'all's time today. Appreciate you spending an hour of your life with me. And as always, your input makes us all better. Appreciate you guys listening to Profit Time. Be sure to share it. Turfs Up Radio, we're here for one reason, and that's to help elevate and educate the industry. And I know I've said that a few times, but that's what it's all about. And I mean, I know we got a great group of listeners here on Turfs Up that are concerned about being the best they can be at what they do, and certainly appreciate you guys spending your hour of your day with me on my show as well. So if we can ever help you with anything, let us know. See you guys Friday, and in the meantime, be safe and remember, profit is not a dirty word.